Prime Minister Narendra Modi will leave for China today from Japan, where he is scheduled for the crucial meeting with President Xi Jinping. Prime Minister Modi will hold talks with Xi Jinping on Sunday on the sidelines of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which is the SCO summit, amid Trump's imposition of 50% tariffs on Indian goods. This will be Prime Minister Modi's first visit to China in over 7 years, when he met Xi in Wuhan for an informal summit back in the year of 2018. We are getting you the visuals from 2018 as well of Prime Minister Modi and Xi Jinping. Now, the SCO summit in Tianjin will bring together over 20 leaders from Central Asia, South Asia and Middle East and Southeast Asia. Russian President Vladimir Putin, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian and also Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi top the list of dignitaries attending this summit. Also attending are Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and Egyptian Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouly, whose countries are dialogue partners with the SCO. So, very crucial meet of Prime Minister Modi with Xi Jinping. There is going to be a bilateral talk as well, which is on the cards, of course. What's more crucial is that Prime Minister Modi will also be meeting Vladimir Putin there in China. Vladimir Putin, as we told you earlier as well, will be flying down to India in December. It's extremely crucial as this visit of Prime Minister Modi to China in 7 years now comes amid the rising trade tensions with the US. US at the moment is our largest market, of course, but we have been slapped with 50% tariffs coming in from US. First up, it was only 25%, but from 27th of August, we were given 50% tariffs on us. The reason that US has cited is the continuing purchase of Russian oil. India categorically has mentioned of not bowing down in front of any external pressure coming their way as far as their trade is concerned, because it's a sovereign nation. Prime Minister Modi had also mentioned in the parliament that we are going to think about our nation first, and now this very, very important meeting of Prime Minister Modi with Xi Jinping on cards. News9's Pragya Bakshi Sharma is also joining us on the broadcast. Pragya, like we have said already, that this one is going to be extremely crucial. Prime Minister Modi is wrapping up his visit to Japan now. He will be leaving for China in any time from now. What's in the card and the message, of course, which will be given out to US?
Well, yes, Sakshi, this is a very significant summit that is coming up, and the trajectory of Prime Minister Modi's conversations and interactions with global leaders and countries ever since the tariff war shows that India is really maneuvering itself in a very changing global situation, especially economic situation. This is a very important summit in the sense that China is, trying to position itself as an alternative to the U.S. And both U.S. and China know that India, New Delhi, does have several unresolved issues, especially at the border areas, geographical issues with China. And so we also have to maneuver ourselves in a way that we are not exactly dependent on U.S. alone for our geopolitical ties, but we also have to come close to China, but not at the cost of resolving these issues that have existed for quite some time now. So what has happened in the backdrop of the summit is that both India and China are really keen on resolving these border issues. And so we saw that border trade will be resumed from 3 areas. And that's a good sign. Now, it's a positive development.
Pragya, we can't hear you. I think we lost connection with you. We'll try to reconnect those lines. But as Pragya was trying to highlight how crucial India and China's meet is going to be as far as the SCO summit there is concerned. Prime Minister Modi and Xi Jinping, of course, will be meeting. We have multiple other leaders also attending the SCO summit. We have Russian President Vladimir Putin, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who tops the list of the dignitaries who all will be in attendance as far as the 25th SCO summit there in Tianjin this time around is concerned. But also in attendance will be Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan and Egyptian Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouly, whose countries are, of course, the dialogue partners with the SCO. Pragya is back with us on the broadcast, I believe. So, Pragya, yes, you were highlighting a couple of more details with regards to, Prime Minister Modi's visit to China. Please continue.
So, yes, actually, as I was saying, besides maneuvering the ties between, with the US and China, given very different nature of situations between the two, we are also looking at a Russia, India, China troika that, is really an aspiration for China and Russia especially, but India has not officially really given a stand on it because, again, the nature of ties that we share with China. Will this dynamic change and, will the Kremlin be able to, so to speak, tame the dragon? Will Russia have any role? It could be a possibility to sort of broker these ties with, China or, in the back channels, we keep seeing diplomatic exchange happen and, countries sort of help form alliances. And so in that scheme of things, will a Russia-India-China alliance be possible in the future? It can't be ruled out given how the global world order is changing. And this is going to be the highlight, Modi, Putin and Xi, three really big leaders who are making headlines since the past 2 months. For the past quite a few years, of course, but more so in the backdrop of US tariffs. So, yes, we are going to see a big change in ties, of course, in how we deal with each other and the pace of resolving the issues that we share with each other. That is definitely something we are going to witness because of what Trump's tariffs have done and the disruptions that it has brought about. So, the eyes are going to be on these developments largely.
Absolutely. Pragya, if we have to speak about the joint initiative of the US as well as India for their vision in the Indo-Pacific, also how US wanted India to overpower China as far as global south is concerned. But now with these trade tariffs coming in, of course, our strained relationship with the US at this given point of time, and this bonhomie that China and India is, trying to achieve, also Prime Minister Modi's very crucial visit to Tianjin for this SCO summit, it is certainly going to be a matter of worry for the US. Don't you think so?
Well, as far as Indo-Pacific is concerned, from what experts have been saying and, from the analysis that we see going around, it is being said or it is being sort of read that maybe the US is trying to sort of distance itself from the Indo-Pacific. However, that is also not a very easy decision to make or not a very light decision to make if there's any truth to that. So how involved the US is going to be in the Indo-Pacific now with the way it's conducting its relationship with India, trade relationship with India remains to be seen. And then we also have to factor in whether economic differences, is going to have any bearing on strategic alliances. So that is another point to be explored. It really depends on how far this tariff war goes. It could also really die down. If you were to think a little positively, maybe it'll die down. Maybe it's not a long-term thing because this was Trump's, election campaigning really, and it has overshadowed foreign relations. But I don't think that any country or any global leader, for that matter, can really allow his internal standing inclinations or his internal politics, electoral politics really overshadows the relationships with other countries. So we can see, of course, a resolution Will it come sooner rather than later? That is the question. And of course, the dynamics of relationships will definitely change. The trust on the US will not be the same anymore. And new alliances will, as a result of this tariff and lack of trust in the US, may form. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Pragya, also I want to ask you that this strategy of Prime Minister Modi to first visiting, Japan, holding some very crucial talks over there, now also visiting for the SCO summit to China. Can we say that this is a sort of a curtain raiser of India's new strategy of creating bonhomie with his, if Asian partners, or if we can say a new Indo-Pacific strategy?
Well, yes, India, the meeting, PM's visit in Japan has been quite successful. We have seen some investments that are coming into Indian markets. His recent visit, which happened just a while ago, just a few hours ago, to Tokyo Electron, the semiconductor facility in Sendai. So, of course, these close trade ties also show that it's possible that India emerges as a more powerful partner in the Quad alliance, and that should also does make one wonder where US will be positioned in this alliance going forward now, and how much impact the tariffs are going to have on the Quad alliance. Japan also 2 days ago, the Japanese trade envoy negotiator cancelled his visit to the US for trade negotiations. So there is some tension there as well. All the more reason for India and Japan to come closer and establish closer trade ties, defense ties. How US is going to place itself in this alliance, Quad alliance, and how the other allies are going to treat the United States also remains to be seen. Quad is, of course, Indo-Pacific focused. It is a very key region for the US still. We can't really rule out the importance of Indo-Pacific to the US. But, if China really manages to come close to New Delhi, we may see some changes there as well.